GM Lagos. Where is the energy now? Okay. I overheard someone talking about if we are here for the tech or if we are here for the money. And a lot of people say tech. Maybe we don't like the money, but me, I'm here for the money. So, talking about Web3, there are so many misconceptions. There are so many terms. I know we are sitting here, we've been hearing DevOps, DAO, terms that we don't even understand. It's not making sense to us. That is one thing that is slowing adoption in Web3, especially in this part of the country, because we're actually building what people can't relate with. If I want to explain OP or money point to a market woman, it's very simple. Just this is what they do. You collect money at a cheaper rate. You are not being charged. Very simple. And when it comes to blockchain, we have to speak so many terms on board, off ramping, on ramping, and all those things. It confuses a whole lot. So today we'll be talking about reward asset tokenization. Does anybody here know what RWA is? All right. That's why we are here. We'll explain better. So I want to tell a simple story. Okay. There was this family of 5 siblings. They inherited this historical artifact, jewelry, from their family. It's more like a family history. They inherited it. So how it is that 5 of them is supposed to own or have equal ownership of that jewelry without selling it, because of course it's a family history. You're not supposed to just sell it out. It has this history back to it. So they now decided, since we all have equal ownership of this and we are not supposed to sell it, some people were like, I want to sell part of my own. There's no way you can sell part of your own without selling the entire artifact. So what now happened? They now decided to disintegrate these artifacts, cut them so that, they had to disintegrate these artifacts, share it into 5 places, automatically losing the value of the jewelry. So now where does blockchain comes into this? Let me explain what tokenization actually means, just with this simple story, so we can relate and understand. Tokenization actually means bringing the value of this jewelry, we all use for example, bringing the value of this jewelry on chain, minting the tokens to these 5 siblings. Let's say the market value of the jewelry is $100,000. So 100,000 tokens will be minted to represent the value of this asset, which is the jewelry in quote, on chain. So when that happens, since there are 5, you distribute 20,000 units each to these 5 people, making it 100,000. This makes sense in the way that you don't have to sell the real assets. You don't need to cut it or disintegrate it. Each of them has equal ownership of these assets. You don't need to say, okay, how can I say, even if you want to sell 1 token of your own, you need money as a sibling. Of course, you have the ownership. You sell like 100 tokens. I don't know if this makes sense, actually. I'm trying to like break it down so we all can understand what tokenization really means in real life. So you can sell a part of your token. You can decide to sell all of your tokens, but you still maintain the value of these assets. Now, what are the benefits of tokenization? So I need to really... Benefits of tokenization, asset owners. There's so many things we can tokenize. We can tokenize land, properties. We'll get to that. Benefits of tokenization. Now, fractional ownership, where you don't need to sell the entire asset to access a value. You can sell small portions of the tokens. Anybody can invest in tokens, can benefit from tokenization as long as you have the token, as long as the token is minted to your address. The physical value is there. And there's an online on-chain value, which is minted across addresses. You don't need to start, let's say, for a piece of land, liquidity as liquid assets for real estate, where you don't need to be a big investor. I know most of us, for all of us, I don't know if anybody here has a land on the island, because it requires a huge amount. You need to be a big investor to get or acquire land over there. So what happens when we bring this land on chain? You can buy just a fraction of it with your $1. Because the token that represents, let's say the land is $1 million. Now we've minted 1 million tokens representing this $1 million. Now with your $1, you can buy a fraction of this real estate and it will be your own. Of course, it will appreciate in value. We all know real estate appreciates in value. This is the solution blockchain is bringing. I'm actually solution driven when it comes to blockchain, because there's a whole lot of noise on this space. Meme coins, rock pools, up here and there. We are not really seeing the real solution blockchain is solving to our real life problem. So this is exactly a real life problem blockchain is solving, where you can invest as a small investor. You can invest just with your fraction. Going to preservation of value, like I said, the other family that had to disintegrate these artifacts, they could have done what? Bring it on chain, preserve the value, because once you disintegrate something, you've lost the value, you've lost the feeling that is attached to it. Now, investor buyers and token accessibility, instead of, okay, just like I've explained, like the necklace, okay, going next. Now, market business buyer pool, where I've explained where you don't need to be a big investor to invest in tokenization. All you have to do is just use your little liquidity and you can get or benefit anything from the token, because of course it will always go in profit. Now, okay. Now, what can we tokenize? There are so many things we can tokenize. And here I really want to differentiate between tokenization and shares. Shares is more like you are buying the value of the company. Let's say I'm buying S&P 500, I'm buying NASDAQ, I'm buying the company's share. Now, let's say I'm buying Tesla, like we all know. I'm not buying the vehicle, I'm buying Tesla's profit. So when Tesla makes profit, I make profit. If Tesla should lose, of course I lose. But if we tokenize Tesla vehicles, I own Tesla vehicle, I own a fraction of Tesla vehicles. We can come up in 5 and purchase Tesla vehicle, because I cannot afford it just on my own. And we have 5 big investors. We can come together, purchase Tesla vehicles, and we own Tesla vehicles because we hold the token equally. That is just one of the benefits of tokenization. Jewelry, shares, farmland, livestock, football academy, intellectual property, music, movies. These and all are what we can tokenize and benefit real life problem. That is what blockchain is solving here. Now, I really want to go to the main business of the day, which is coffee. And the global coffee market is actually around 480 billion in US dollars. The Ethiopian coffee market is valued at 4 billion US dollars. The Nigerian coffee market is valued at 100 million US dollars. Of course, that shows there's an improvement, there's an adoption, there's room for growth. So what we're actually doing in Waga is we are bringing this coffee in farmlands. This coffee produced by these farms, we are bringing it on chain, where individuals can hold a token of this coffee without having a farm. You can hold a token that represents this coffee off-chain. You can have it on-chain. You can hold it. You can do whatever it is you want to do. You can trade it. It is open for everybody. So my colleague will be saying more about Waga and how you can join Waga. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Chinelo Ojaku, so I'm representing Waga. And my colleagues had actually made mention of tokenization. Now, Waga, what is Waga? Waga means value. That's it means value. Okay, so why Waga? Why are we bringing Waga on chain? Why are we doing this? Next slide. Why are we doing this? Now, we know farmers currently earn less than 10% of the real coffee value. They earn less than 10%, while the medium and global brand capture most of the margin, 90%. You can see the margin. But there's huge difference. Here comes, due to the lack of transparency, both farmer and consumer, there are no traceability. So henceforth, why we're bringing coffee on-chain. Now, I see people are actually inquisitive. They were asking us, why coffee? Now, our mission is to ensure farmers capture most value for every bag of coffee sold. And we are actually to create new earning opportunities for distributors and sole proprietors. We also provide consumer with traceable, high quality, ethical sourced coffee. And these are coffee, we are bringing it from Ethiopia. We all know Ethiopia coffee is actually raised on the high side. So we are using blockchain to bring trust, efficiency, and fairness to the coffee trade. Next one. What is our expected outcome for the farmer? High and more stable income directly. For the distributor, to earn without inventory risks, because we have a mechanism whereby we have a distributor model. Now the distributor will hold our token. We have WAGA utility token, whereby with this token, the distributor can be able to redeem their requests. For consumer, it's to verify the traceability from farm to cup and support sustainable coffee production. All right? How does WAGA work? How does it work? We tokenize coffee. Coffee batches are being tokenized using the ERC 1155 tokens, which we have already done that. The distributor holds a token, just as I said earlier. We have the distributor, which will hold our token, and then they will redeem when the customer orders or place an order. It will be redeemed, and they'll place a request, which will be verified by the admin, and the token and the coffee will be sent to the consumer. The payments, consumer can either pay through any channel. It doesn't. You don't actually have to hold a token. You can pay through any channel, through the cash transfer, USD. Meanwhile, while you're making your payment through the distributor, now that is when the distributor redeems it with our utility token and place your order. Now the redemption. Distributor redeem token with WAGA using the USSD and it. Then with our WAGA token too. And then the coffee is being shipped directly to the consumer. So this is how our mechanism works. So why the WAGA utility token? Our WAGA utility token is being held by the distributor. So the distributor can stake the token to show their commitments, and they actually generate a revenue which can be payout in USDC or PAXG, which is gold, as gold is also a reward asset. Now our distributors model. Who can join? Who can be a distributor? A sole proprietor can be a distributor. Sole proprietor, anyone can be a distributor. Hotel owners can be a distributor. Now, you don't have to own the physical coffee. You don't have to hold the physical coffee. It won't even be in your possession. Just redeems the token and it will be sent to the consumer. And easy cash flow. All right? So compliance made easy. Why did we have to verify the distributor for your local license wherever you are, either in Nigeria or anywhere, and perform our due diligence with KYC. The outcome of our value chain: the farmer gets a fair income, distributors also get a revenue when they stake our WAGA utility token, customers get verified and ethical coffee is being disbursed to them, while our token holders, they actually get revenue shares in stablecoin or in gold, which is packaging, as I said earlier. So we actually want to be a leadership in Web3 Africa.
All right. Thank you very much. One thing WAGA is building is trying to bring transparency, of which we all know that is what blockchain is promoting. That is what blockchain is promoting. Then to be a WAGA distributor, what my colleague is trying to say is that you don't need to have a warehouse, you don't need to have a shop, you don't need to have a store. All you need to do is have customers. You come onto our DApp, you connect your wallet, you hold our token. You redeem your token using a customer's address that must have ordered, and we do the shipping directly from our end to the customer. You as a distributor, you don't need to see the coffee physically. You don't need to hold the coffee. You don't need to have a shop or a warehouse. No, all you do is to come, although we have limited slots for distributors. This is our site where you can connect your wallet. This is the admin portal and the distributor portal where you input all the details and the customer's address, and we do the shipping directly to the customer. Now, the big deal here is it's not really about our token or anything, because of course, from our revenue, we give out a certain percentage of our profit into our liquidity pool. That is on the business aspect. Then on the distributor aspect, what we are trying to do is to create opportunities here, to create employment. Because let's say we have 500 here. Imagine we have 500 distributors. That means we have created 500 jobs, and you don't need to do any form of inventory. Everything is being done from the WAGA protocol end. All you have to do is get a token, redeem it using the customer's address, and we take care of it at a cheaper price. Why? Because the middlemen that are hiking prices. Because one thing in the coffee market, like I said, it is being valued. The coffee market is being valued in Ethiopia at 4 billion USD, and the farmers don't even get even the quarter of what is being generated. Someone is robbing them, which is the middleman, and they're hiking prices. So what Waga is doing here is bridging that middleman, connecting the farmer directly to the customer at a very cheaper price. So this is where we are building our community, and we have an upcoming contest coming up, of which if you want to participate for a price of $300, if you want to participate, it's not a content creation. You don't need to dance or anything. If you want to participate, all you have to do is scan the QR code, join our waiting list, and we'll take it from there. Thank you very much.